I can hear the voices calling. I can hear greatness is calling.
My name is Joyce Babatunde. I'm from the northwest region of Cameroon, from Com, and I'm happy to be here today.
A Johnny comes round way, a Johnny not clown. He's just fooling around with her like a gombele, a mentalo, a mentalo, a gombele, a mentalo.
Now, when people hear the name Babatunde, the first thing is she from Nigeria? Well, I get that a lot. But I'm from the northwest region. I'm from Com, but my name is actually Babatunde, and yes, it is a Yoruba name. My grandfather gave my dad the name because of the meaning, because of the implication. It means Papa don't come back. So it speaks of reincarnation. So it's like, oh, this child really resembles his father. So that's how my dad got the name. And then it so happened that my father chose me out of all the children to give me the name. So that's how I ended up with Babatunde. I studied law in the University of Wea and also in the University of I.am.E. So yeah, I'm a legal mind, so to speak. Now, as far as studying law and becoming an artist, art has always been calling to me. I think from a very young age, I used to sing in the children's choir, in school choir, special numbers in school and all that. But then I could not resist the urge anymore after I finished with my university education, and I decided, okay, I think I want to pursue this. Not to say I have completely abandoned law. I think at some point in time I'm going to come back to it, but really art is a part of who I am. It's not just a career, it's a part of who I am. It's a way of life for me, so yeah. My family, for one, is very supportive. It's definitely not easy for a child to go through all the years of education and then decide to become an artist. But at the beginning, their worry was more, are you sure it's going to be able to sustain you? Is it something that can put food on your table, take care of whoever needs to be taken care of? That's always been their major concern. So they originally wanted me to focus on a job and then do the art as a side hustle. But when I talked to them and got them to understand that this is more than just a side gig, it's more than just a side passion for me, it's something that I really want to immerse myself in, I think I've gotten their support in one way or the other. My mom would come to my show when she can. Yeah, my dad would call, oh, how did it go, even if he cannot make it, but even my siblings. So I think the transition was a little rocky, but I think when they got to understand that this is really what I'm about, they've been able to lend their support in whatever way possible. So I'm an artist, and to me that means many things, but first of all, it means being a musician. I do a genre of music which I call Afro Soul, and really Afro Soul, it has strong soul influences, so the foundation is soul music, which is a typically black culture, black American type of music, but now with the Afro in it, it's a blend of African vibes and feels and chants and all that, and our realities too. So that's really the genre of music that I do. And I equally call my music experimental, so to speak, because I dabble. I like to dabble, I like to mix things. So I rap. Yeah, I rap.
Baby's pure sophistication, come out when the mission. Baby's got a fat vision, never out of precision. Shit, still every song, still every tongue, thing every pong, king every kong. Baby, big on the intellect, LaCroix fact. She's up on the board, Snobby play hard like cuff.
I equally do dance hall, and I'm equally a spoken word artist. So it's like a melting pot, a bit of this, a bit of that, and yeah. As far as reception of the kind of music I do, In Cameroon, let me look for the right words. It's not been easy, obviously. Generally, the music that the masses want, which I'll call mainstream, is what they go for. It's who they look for, it's the concerts they go to, and so it's a little difficult with this niche. But I think what I choose to focus on is the fact that everywhere which I've been able to go, what I do as far as live music is concerned has been appreciated. Really, the music I do is more for a live set. I don't do playbacks, I do live music. So as far as reaching out to those live audiences or people who like live music, I think it's been really amazing getting to meet and commune with them. So the audience is not as big as we would like it to be, obviously, and I think it's really up to us to find a way to increase that audience. I don't really know if I haven't found the secret yet to exactly bridging the gap between mainstream and live, but I think it's something we need to do because the people need to be able to taste the diversity of what we have, and there is a powerful set of musicians doing live music, which unfortunately a lot of people don't get to experience. And so I'm really hopeful that along the line we can breach the gap and get people to listen to content that is Cameroonian, regardless of whether it's mainstream or niche, because it's important that we have that blend. It's a reflection of our country and all the diversity that we have, and we need to be able to embrace that. Now, when I say I'm an artist, I equally do wearable art. I don't like to call it fashion design because the term has become a little too cliche within this context. So what I do is called wearable art, and for example, the pieces I have on, the neck piece and the bracelet, I do that. And for me, it's all about making a statement. It's all about having a signature. It's all about standing out in your own right. And that's what I try to incorporate even in my creations with my wearable art and accessories. It's about seeing something that is unique to a person and you can immediately connect to. So for me, that's always the focus. That's the focus in the things I create. I want people to be able to find the unique identity in it. And so that's what I put into my creations, and I rock them. And I think the people who get to see what I do too, they can feel that sense of uniqueness. They can feel that sense of, oh, this is a world of its own. This is something special. And for me, that's basically it. Everything that I do, I seek to instill my signature in it. And I guess you'll be the judge of if it's working or not.
By us and men, but I wonder, did we define us for them? When we check his swag to make sure it's tight, and then we check his car to see what he writes, and then we check him sign checks and yes, check! Lavishing marks like a bad teacher, marking right wrong answers because we really don't care for his character. We are only there for the paper. 3.
That particular poem, which I think I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from whatever audience I've performed it in front of, it's actually called The Definition. And it talks about what it means to be a woman. The inspiration behind that poem was the fact that it seems like things are getting better as far as people regaining their identities is concerned, but when it comes to the woman, she seems to be the subject of a lot of controversy. There are too many people trying to tell the woman. I'm going to talk about the African woman because I haven't been to the West, but in our context, there are too many voices speaking about who a woman should be, what her focus should be, what her life should look like, what her priority should be, and it's easy to get lost in the face of it all. Sometimes there are acutely contradictory opinions as to who a woman should be. Everybody seems to want to tell her, be this or be that. And growing up, I I struggled with a couple of things. I struggled with insecurities growing up, and I struggled with who I really wanted to be. And so I got to the point where I made a decision like, okay, I have to take the knife or whatever to peel whatever I am into my own hands. There's a quote that says, whatever you do, make sure that the pen that writes your story is in your own hands. And it was from that perspective, like, we will keep on hearing these voices. They wouldn't stop. It's an ongoing debate every single day. It's about, oh, women shouldn't, oh, women shouldn't. Nobody really talks much about what the man should do when it comes to marriage. Girls should, women should. And so we need to, what birthed that point was the realization that if you have to only listen to what external voices have to say, you would lose your way. And so you need to be able to get to a place where you figure out for yourself and in line with the intention for which you were created. What am I supposed to do with the life I have? The life I have, what is it for? And who am I as a person and as a woman? So I think it's those thoughts and the general noise, so to speak, around what a woman should do and be that pushed me to write that poem. Yeah. What drives me is a sense of transferring a message through whatever I do. A message that is pretty simple actually, but that should speak to people to remind them that they are special, they are unique, and they are created with a unique purpose. And for me, that's the greatest honor, to be able to do that through the art that I do, through the music, through the poetry, through the accessories. And that's what I seek to instill in people. It's to create a masterpiece mindset, to know that, oh, I'm unlike everybody else. But that's not just okay, that's amazing. Because that which makes me different is what the world needs. And so that's my drive.
And that was it for this episode of I.am.E. Stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, stay safe.
'Cause I feel it, greatness is calling. In your diary